What is up, Earthnoids and Space Noids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are chasing the minaret as we continue the return of Johnny Ridden. Last time, Rimia, with the help of EA, developed a new mobile suit that could live up to Char's DJ. She created the Gelgoog Vertex, which in many ways mimics the Gamma Gundam's development history. Also, the gang found out that minaret is currently located near Baoa. This time, the Oxner fleet heads towards Baoa, while Neo Zeon and Gop's team follow suit. Uma witnesses Hugh Markeen Kelvin's death, and we see the moment where Danton promises Char that he will protect Arlet. So let's get into this. Baoa is currently a mess. Remember, this is after Haman rammed access into it, and after the Titans renamed it the Gates of Zidane. They think that they could use Delphi to help them out. Delphi is the name of the planetarium-like navigation program that is hiding Minaret. They try to get as much cartography data as they can on the current area. Hugbald is sending a bunch of his finest security men to help deliver the mobile suits along with supplies. Rimia says this is on a whole different level and is a dream come true. See, I said last week her skills are being floundered at FSS. The Vertex Xanthos is ready for testing, and the Kurinos is good to go. Hugbald notes that they handle all security in-house. Companies on the level of Anaheim Electronics doesn't outsource the transportation pipeline. They are always transporting secret documents, even secrets within the government. This absolutely can't be compromised by a third party that isn't properly vetted by Anaheim Electronics. Like military power, transportation and data control also play a huge role in the current economy. AE wants a piece of every pie. Ludwig provides Hoover and Led intel on some of Char's mobile suits, including the Baoa. Ludwig thinks that this is a clue left by Char, and wants to use this as an opportunity to test out his ship's new Nemos. Hoover looks at Led and wonders what he is thinking. If Oxner gets a hold of Astaroth, he might just reset the entirety of the universe. He says that he has grown quite fond of this world, and if he has to, he will destroy Astaroth himself if he must. As Led walks out, Hoover says to himself that he worries that he may one day become Johnny Ridden. He says that he too likes this world, but it is nothing more than an endless dream. Ugh, dude, I feel you. I am approaching middle age and I have to do this for another 40 to 50 years? Let's wrap this up already. It is time. Oxner wonders if Hoover talked to Led, as he will be the key to all of this. He asks what will happen if he gets too close and it activates. Oxner says then we will know the outcome of this war, as though he seems to want this outcome that he's being very vague about. Remember, Commander Hugh, Johnny Ridden, and Asia are the only three people whose biometrics will unlock Astaroth. But Oxner wonders if their biometrics will even work, as much of their data, specifically Asia's data. Oxner mentions Hugh Kelvin's name. Hoover thinks it is a shame that they can't use his biometrics now that he is gone. Oxner hints that he might not be, however. They meet with Hugbald and thank him for helping out. He reminds them that this is all just business to him. This is Anaheim Electronics. We hit all 4 quadrants. They go and brief the entire army that Oxner has assembled, along with Chimera. There are 2,704 FSS crew members, along with various PMC Themis members helping out. On top of that, there are many Anaheim Electronics security guards. Their mission is to do everything in their power to protect Minaret. This is an officially sanctioned mission by the Federation, unlike the battle at Jaburo. Decot mentions that Oxner is serious this time. Oxner also has the die that we saw him use earlier in this series. This seems to be a gamble from the old generation. Dice gamble, dice? Do you get the metaphor? Meanwhile, at Luna 2, Ingrid is testing the bits on her heavy Gundam. Gop is informed of new intel from AE. Remember, those sneaky bastards are always working both sides. He goes to meet with Captain Kikone, the captain of the Blanc rival. Back at Sweetwater, Danton delivers a message from Char to Arlet. She is stressed out about finishing up testing, but all Char seems to care about is if she makes the unit red. No one but Char seemed to have learned the 3 times normal speed hack, apparently. As she bosses the mechanics around, Danton flashes back to Char, asking him to promise that he will look after Arlet. He promises Char, and as a sign of trust, he shows Danton his face. Outside of Sayla, this possibly might be the first Char mask reveal. He thinks to himself that he is no good at babysitting. Out in space is a team of Neo Zeon remnants, and Isaac spots Oxner's fleet on the move. Ludwig and his Musai is trying to draw out the remnants. He launches his Nemo team. The Isaac tries to dump their recon data. Remember, Isaacs have data pods that they could dump so friendlies could come by and pick them up later. However, the mobile suit is surrounded by the Nemo team. They tell them to get out of their mobile suits, but they sig that Zeon and try to attack. All 3 Nemos fire on the Isaac, killing the pilots. The Nemo commander hesitated, and it almost cost him his life. Ludwig's team spent the last decade underwater, and they are still trying to get their bearing in space. Gop meets with Commander Constantine. He was the commander on the fleet outside of Kompe Island that said screw this and bailed from the battle. He is happy to be summoned by Gop because it is rumored that he takes care of you and your family even even if you die. Gop instantly changes the mood of the room by wondering why he was there in the first place. He says that higher-ups were at GUNPLA Island, and they always are assigned a security fleet. Constantine realizes this isn't a meeting where Gop brings you into his inner circle. This is a meeting where Gop is going to blackmail you. Uh-oh. However, it isn't too serious. He wants Constantine to escort the Blanc rival, and Gop is going to join him. You are a coward and good at running away from battles. We might need you to run away. Char tells Horst Harness that he is going to capture Astaroth so he could destroy it. Horst says that he is afraid that the Federation may end up using it on the colonies. He believes that there are people within the Federation who still believe in the idealism of Basque Om. He goes to address his growing newborn Neo-Zeon army. Their battle at GUNPLA Island was one of their first as a new army. He tells them of their mission to take down the Chimera Corps. Amongst the people is Resin Schneider from Char's counterattack. If she's here in UC-90, then what is she up to during Moon Gundam? Gop is on board Constantine's ship while Ingrid escorts them in her mobile suit. One thing I notice is that on Earth, Gop always has a cigar in his mouth. Now that he is in space, this motherfucker is vaping. Vape life. Gop wants to actually experience the front lines while he still can, which is why he involved Constantine. He was at the Battle of Edessa, but he wasn't a frontline general. He was always the logistics guy. I like this moment because Gop is walking with the team because he knows Ingrid is watching. Once they get to the lower level where Ingrid can't see, Gop says, "I'm tapping out," and instantly sits. I think this might be the most we saw him walk, actually. She is able to find him and tells him not to go running off. She heads out to prepare for battle. How are they talking to one another? Yazan launches in his Vasuki Custom Mark II. His two wingmen, Valenstein and Kawase, are still rocking their Gem Nightseekers. The Blanc rival and escort Salamis head out. The Gelgoog vertices are being prepped. On the Nikaya, the Chimera Corps get a special briefing. Decot informs them of the debris caused by the Gates of Zidane incident. They don't want anyone to follow their tracks, so he suggests they split up the fleet. The Nikaya and Chimera will act as the front line. Their Salamis ships, along with PMC Themis, will act as a distraction. They are going to board and let the engineers do their thing. Siemens' team and the Chimera will act as the escort for Minaret once everyone is on board. Since this is an official mission, they can also get support from the Orbital Defense Fleet, which consists of 18 Salamis ships. Decot says that he has a bad feeling about this mission, but if they make it back alive, he won't complain anymore. Yeah, I call bullshit on that one. Amaria tells Ashwarya to look after Rimia for her. Yazan notes that Ingrid is getting better. They are running training exercises. Valenstein and Kawase try to surround her. She unleashes the funnels, but Yazan is able to get in close and attack with his beam saber. He says that any old type could read her like a book. They head back to the ship. Ingrid is tired of him calling her princess. He says that he will stop once she is able to beat him. Uma Lightning thinks back to the 1-year war. He was with Hugh Marquine Kelvin when he was killed. He was attacked by what appears to be Astaroth. As he loses his breath, he reminds him of package number 6, which is in his room. Uma thinks that Hugh betrayed Johnny, but he says that Johnny will seize control of everything and usher in the Zabi's revenge. He says that the return of Johnny Ridden will bring forth a new era of Zeon. Ooh, title drop. Back in the present, Uma decides to tell Led and Jacobius instead of keeping it to himself. Resin is getting used to the Baoa, but she says these complex transforming type mobile suits aren't her style. See, now I'm definitely questioning why she isn't in Moon Gundam. Char receives intel on movement on Oxner's fleet. He seems to have a man on the inside. He is onto the fact that this seems to be an officially sanctioned Federation mission. Based on their movements and speed, they could deduce that their ship is on their way to the Gates of Zidane. Arlet meets with Char after his meeting. He confirms they are heading back to a Baoa. She tells him that the Traversia will be ready on time. Meanwhile, Uma tells Led and Jacobius everything that he knows about Hugh. And that will do it for this episode. The mission is finally underway, and everyone is on their way to the Gates of Zidane, but who will make it there first? We also only have 1 or 2 more videos left before we can conclude our coverage of the return of Johnny Ridden. This has been one of the longest mangas we have covered. It took us almost 1.5 years to get here. Next time, the new Gelgoogs move into action. We explore Uma and Ingrid's relationship. Char gets into the DJ Traversia, and we find out what this package number 6 is. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, when going to space, don't forget your vapes. Peace.